$90 for interest only, Wide Vision at $29.90, and My Jasper at $21.90. All right, let's go to the betting ring and see what Andrew Voss has got to report.
Well, Ken, you mentioned number 6, No Alimony. Well, backed even more now, into 11 to 4 or $3.75. That's number 6, No Alimony. The top one, Speedy Kids, has really blown in the market out from 5 to 2 to 4 to 1, or $5 for the $1 investment. Rosa Wall for Lee Friedman, pretty firm at 9 to 2. Look, we're still getting over Might and Power's win. I know I'll be taking my wife out tonight for the best beef and black bean sauce money can buy. There's plenty more racing to come on the Wide World of Sports.
And honest.
Right, back at Moonee Valley, alongside me, of course, is Simon O'Donnell and Darren Beedman. Darren, you saw Might and Power today. You've ridden in a Japan Cup on Let's Elope. You nearly got to the barrier on Saintly. Is he good enough, Might and Power, for that?
I think he is. A mile and a half when he really comes into play. He's just got great stamina, the horse, and he's able to keep going. But they do run very fast sectionals over there. They'll run the first half mile in about 47 seconds, like mile speed. But he's got the stamina to be able to keep on going on with it, and he's a great ambassador to be able to represent our country.
Well said. Simon O'Donnell, I'm sure you think he'd be all right at anything.
He'll go on with anything. Anything the world want to dish up, Might and Power will dish it back. That's what I think. Look, today what we saw was just absolutely wonderful. The Cox Plate has great memories for everybody. This will be a special one.
All right, they're behind the barriers for race 7. Simon Marshall.
I don't want to go off too big, Kenny, but I might make a comeback after that reception. Absolutely phenomenal. Let's have a look at the horses going in for race 7 here. Speedy Kids was absolutely superb in the coat. Marigo too, very, very fit. Ribs were showing. Primrose Penny looked fine. Visual displays look fine. The fave, No Alimony, is primed to run well. I know it's heading towards the Oaks, so it must show up today. Let me see. Interest Only and Wide Vision both looked extremely well. Wide Vision might be a little bit of the smoky in this one. Danny Nicolic's very confident on his way around here. He's drawn 2. Kenny, as we've got one more horse to walk up.
Thank you, Simon. And this, of course, is the Seppelt Great Western Stakes, a listed race over 1,600 metres. And as Primrose Penny takes her place, we go to Greg Miles for his call.
All in now, race 7. Off they go at the 1,600 and Interest Only away quickly. Speedy Kids pinged out of the barrier stalls and Marigo jump well. Close Your Eyes from an outside berth is heading across smartly towards the front, and Rosa Ward jump well, getting up to be about middle of the field. First turn looms up near the 1,200 metres and Close Your Eyes is the leader. Rosa Ward moving up on the outside of Wide Vision. The pace slackened a little here. Just behind those Speedy Kids, who wants to get his head up and fight the rider in 4th placing. Marigo next outside, Interest Only, and 2 lengths then to Visual Displays and My Jasper. They're followed by No Alimony, who's second to last, and back last of all Primrose Penny. Close Your Eyes by the 1,000, led by a length and a quarter. Rosa War second, Wide Vision third the inside. A length to Speedy Kids, a length and a half to Marigo. Over on the inside of her is Interest Only, 2 Visual Displays and My Jasper. Then No Alimony and Primrose Penny last of all. Close Your Eyes down the side near the 700 by a length to Rosa War. 1 to Wide Vision the inside of Speedy Kids. Marigo's had a beautiful run over on the outside on the white colours from Interest Interest Only. They're followed by Visual Displays, and No Element is starting a charge around the outside. Primrose Penny's trying to track it into the race, and My Jasper last of all. Close Your Eyes led. Rosa War in the pink sleeves and cap getting closer. Speedy Kid's about a length away on the outside of Wide Vision, and then Marigo and No Element from Interest Only. Round the turn now, Rosa War took the lead. Speedy Kid's trying to match her into the straight, and then Marigo. No Element is coming home well. Rosa War the leader over Speedy Kids, and No Element. My Jasper next, but Rosa War kicking. Speedy Kids can't reach Rosa War. Rosa War fights on very well, and Rosa War beats Speedy Kids. No Element out wide, or My Jasper close for third, and then Marigo. They're followed by Interest Only, Visual Displays, Primrose Penny, Wide Vision, and the early leader Close Your Eyes finished last.
Well, as often happens when they don't go too hard in the race, you just can't run down the leaders. And Rosa War for Damien Oliver fought on to beat Speedy Kids. $5.60 and $1.90 for the winner. One Speedy Kid second has paid $1.60, and we'll wait on the judge's decision for third. Right, let's watch the replay here. And as they make the turn, Rosa War in the white lime and black diagonal stripes, pink sleeves and pink cap, leads the way. Speedy Kids comes at her in the green and gold, can't get to her, and Rosa War just keeps fighting on. Number 6, No Element down the outside in the black and yellow, has grabbed third place officially. So the numbers are 8, 1 and 6 on the Seppelt Great Western Stakes. The dividends on 8, 1 and 6, $5.60 and $1.90, $1.60 for Speedy Kids, and $1.70 for No Element. Okay, a break now, and then more from Moonee Valley on the Wide World of Sports. Well, from the inside rail, there's the pink sleeves of the Danehill filly Rosa War, the winner of the Seppelt Great Western Stakes. And she's defying the horse in the green and gold, which is Speedy Kids, and the other horse in the picture is No Element, and that's how they finished. 8 Rosa War first, 1 Speedy Kids second, 6 No Element third, $5.60 and $1.90 for the winner, $1.60 for second, $1.70 for third, the Quinella $10.80, the trifecta $68.80. Right, that's all from race 7. Let's go to Nicole Stevenson.
Thanks very much, Kenny. With the domestic cricket season shortly upon us, this is our last Wide World of Sports for the year. So it's time to take a look at the events that made sporting headlines in...
Kenny Calendar, how they look?
Yeah, thanks, Maxie. This is the Harvey Norman handicap in the 1100-metre sprint, and here are the prices. Here's the Prince at $23.50, Stork $13.30, $9.10 for Montana Sands, Major Suspect at $16.20, $49.40 for Noble Challenge, $3.60 for the favourite umpire, $5.80 for Crash Hot, Steel Switch $9.80, Revenue Razor $7.10, Burketown Boy $9.20, Medals $40.80, and Marty's Magic, another roughie, at $24.80. Well, as we pick up vision, they're behind the barrier at Rosehill. It's Crash Hot in centre screen, TAB number 7. And this, of course, is the second leg of the daily double on the New South Wales TAB. Centre screen there with the cerise, with the black with the cerise cap is umpire, and in the all cerise is his stablemate Stork. Excuse me. Right, they're going into line. There's Stork there, TAB number 2, a 6-year-old resuming from a spell. Normally goes okay fresh. There's Montana Sands there, TAB number 3, young Jason Lee. Brings him into the race quite well weighted with his 2.5 allowance, gets him down to 54. There's Crash Hot, number 5 there is Noble Challenge going into line, and just 1 or 2 to take their place and will be ready. Stork and number 7 Crash Hot, who's drawn the outside of the 12 runners. When Crash Hot goes forward, we'll be ready for action. 1100 metres, one big sweeping turn, not quite the Golden Slipper course, which of course is 1200 at Rosehill. Crash Hot shouldn't give any trouble. He's had plenty of starts. This is his 29th start. In he goes. They're all ready. The starter's about to let them go. Let's go to Terry Bailey.
This race. Praise indeed 35th in the list of order for the Melbourne Cup, and he's heading south, hoping to secure a run, maybe racing the Start Stakes next week. The gates are back and they're off. Crash Hot out wide on the track, and Montana Sands began okay, showing Speed Stalk, and Revenue Razor going up very wide over Burketown Boy. They were followed in between runners going around the outside on settling as Medals, and also Steel Switches going very quickly with Major Suspects. Umpire has got well back in the field in company with Noble Challenge, and on the inside here's the Prince. Coming down the side, 700 out, Crash Hot in front of Revenue Razor, Montana Sands the centre. They were followed by Steel Switch a length away, Marty's Magic inside Burketown Boy, Stalk, Major Suspect 4 and 5 deep, 2 lengths to Medals, Umpire a mile back. Then here's the Prince and Noble Challenge in the stretch. At the 400, Crash Hot got away from Montana Sands to lead by more than a length. Steel Switch, Revenue Razor the outside, Marty's Magic back to the fence. No run for Umpire, but Crash Hot is out full of running at the 200. He's 2.5 in front now, running on Marty's Magic, just up in front of him, battling on Will Montana Sands, but Crash Hot's a mile in front. Here's the Prince getting out when it's all over, but Crash Hot is streaking away. Crash Hot wins from Marty's Magic. Third, here's the Prince. Fourth, Montana Sands, but it's very tight, the minors. Umpire, Steel Switch, Major Suspect, Stalk, Burketown Boy, Revenue Razor, Noble Challenge and Medals last home.
Well, just far too good. Crash Hot, incidentally, trained by Alan Denham, who had such a fine moment here in the Cox Plate when his dad's horse, Might and Power, won. He never won as easily as Crash Hot did for Lane Maloney. Went straight to the front. They never went hard. And when the kid let him go, well, he went. And that's what you call a pretty decisive winning margin. About 6 or 7 lengths. Very close for second and third. They're not quite official yet. If it is 7-12-1, it will pay 6.10, 2.30, 5.60 for Marty's Magic. And here's the Prince, $6.30. Montana Sands is right there also in the photo for second, third and fourth. Right, that was the second leg of the double in Sydney. We're still at the Valley, of course. We've got one more to come here as we take a break on the Wide World of Sports. Well, there's the presentation of the Seppelts Great Western Stakes, the trophies, and I'm sure there'll be some Great Western there, to the connections of Rosa War, the Lee Friedman-trained Danehill filly who was successful in the listed race here today on BMW Cox Plate Day 1998. A big day, and over now to a pretty big man, Maxie Walker. Here he is.
Thank you very much, Kenny, and let's hope that voice hangs in there till 5 o'clock. And, of course, as we head to the finishing tape on Wide World of Sports for 1998, we've already taken a look at some of the more memorable sporting events of the year.
Here's the come that you saw him. You saw Might and Power win the Cox Plate. And there he is, holding off Tycoon Lil. Now Northern Drake in the red and gold comes down the outside. The crowd are cheering. It was a great moment, Simon O'Donnell and Darren Beedman.
It certainly was a great moment. It was just wonderful to be here, as you said, Ken, to experience what we saw, and you can hear the crowd there. It was absolutely enormous. Such an emotional win for all concerned.
And what about Scoop Beedman here getting the interview with Jack Denham?
That was one of my biggest thrills in racing, I think. But as you can see, it was a catch me if you can, and Jimmy really made it a staying event, and he's just got plenty of ticker, this horse.
Didn't he look excited here, the pumper? How about that? Yeah, what about me, boys? Even if they fine him $200, he'll cop that sweet, I'd say.
I think he'll hand it over straight on the spot.
Simon O'Donnell, there's been some great stayers, you know, like Tulloch was before our time, Kingston Town, we saw Kingston Town better loosen up. I don't think any of them are any better than this guy.
Oh, I don't think any better than this guy. And have a look what he's won. He's won our Caulfield Cup, our Melbourne Cup, and he's won the Cox Plate from 2,000 metres to 2 miles. I mean, not a lot of horses in the modern age can do that. There's, you know, seems to be horses that win 1.5 miles, 2 miles. Not many drop back to the 2,000 are as brilliant as he is.
I hate to keep repeating myself, but I've said about 3 times now that he and Rising Fast are the only horses to win the Cox Plate, the Caulfield Cup and the Melbourne Cup, and he's the only horse since Farlap. Or the only horse after to win the Cox Plate after he's won a Melbourne Cup. So he's something special.
And it's very hard to compare. I mean, I was an enormous Octagonal fan. I mean, but look, this horse has grabbed all emotions, everybody's emotions with what he does, and he does it the hard way. Octagonal used to do it the hard way. This bloke does it the other end. He'll lead and make them catch him.
He's dominant. And as And if you lost vision or power during our last segment, please accept our apologies. It was totally out of our hands. It was a power blackout here on course at Moonee Valley. I think with the huge crowd that the power was overloaded and, well, everything just went kaput. But we're back in play now, and we've got the totes for the Waterford Crystal Mile. Number 1, Umrum, $5.70. Number 2, Corporate James, $6.60. Rustic Dream, $6.70. Gold City, $14.70. Principality, $11.70. Pearl Prince, $29.50. Tricove, $6.10. Knightly Sword, $41.20. Mushtak, $26. Calistair, $10.80. And over the page, Mighty Way, $6.80. And Irish Air at $22.30. He got plenty of money out of Might and Power, but he hasn't gone home. He's still here. Andrew Voss, g'day.
Yeah, I'm still here, Ken, and this race is about as open as an all-night 7-11, this race number 8. Mighty Way is the favourite. It's bucked the trend a little in from 5-1 into 9-2 or $5.50. Tricove has been easy in the market, number 7, out to 6-1. Likewise, Umrum. For those looking to get out, perhaps the value is Gold City. Now, its second start back from a very long spell. It's been backed in from 12-1 into 10-1. That could be one to look out for. Number 4, Gold City.
Okay, thank you very much, Andrew. Pretty tricky race, the Waterford Crystal Mile. I thought that Tricove had run very well in it. Simon, have you got a fancy?
Yeah, I'm actually going with, there's been a bit of money at the back, as Andrew said, with Gold City, and I'm actually going to stick with her at pretty good odds.
Anything you like at all, Darren?
Yeah, I like Tricove. A little bit unlucky in the Epsom handicap. Was a good run.
Okay, having trouble with one over there. Simon Marshall, fill us in.
Yes, it's Principality, Ken. Look, what happened, young Karen McAvoy brought him around and just needed the saddle readjusted. The saddle shifted a little forward, so the guys will just readjust the saddle to make sure, or to ensure that he has a safe ride around here over the 1,600 metres. Looked quite well too, Principality. Nice and relaxed while standing there when they're adjusting the saddle. Umrum, well, he's probably got the edge back on him today. He's just sweated up a little bit, which does suggest that he's a little bit fresh, so he should run the mile out pretty well with a turn of foot. You'll find him somewhere up near the front. Corporate James looked okay. Rustic Dream, well, he's a very fit horse. He's promised a lot. Maybe D-Days today. Gold City, yeah, very well in the coat. Nothing wrong with its looks whatsoever. Pearl Prince, he loves the valley, looked fine. Tricove looked fine as well. Knightly Sword, yeah, it's going to struggle a little bit, I think, in this field, but can't knock its conditions whatsoever. Mushtak, he's a little bit rough in the coat. He looks a little bit dry. He's dappled up, but probably just not 100%. Mighty Way was also another. That looked fine. Calistair, the grey. Very hard to judge grey horses, but, you know, I can see his ribs here while young Eddie Wilkinson turns him around. He looks fine. He looks nice and fit. Should run a good race. He's a hard horse to catch, though, mind you. And Mighty Way also from the Matty Allerton stables at Flemington. Very fit-looking chestnut, and should warrant its place in this field. Kenny, as we've only got 3 horses to move up, I've enjoyed myself immensely. I'm going to get on Might and Power in the Japan Cup, only because I can. It's back to you, buddy.
Good on you, Simon. Yeah, you've done a great job for us. Thank you very much. And there's Rustic Dream there in the white and navy halves. That's the Clary Connors trained Irish Air on the inside for Chris Muntz that you saw up closely. It looks like they're just about ready for the Waterford Crystal Mile. Here's Greg Miles.
Light flashing now. Gold City on the inside. Greg Hall not quite settled in the saddle on this mare on the comeback trail. Now she stands a bit better. All in the stalls. Corporate James standing up okay. Umrum in the middle line. Off they go now. Irish Air began well with Gold City. Knightly Sword ridden out of the gates, and Mighty Way is also prominent early, followed by Umrum a bit wider out. Rustic Dream jumped well and is settling towards the end, and so too Tricove and Corporate James. First turn coming up, Mighty Way hunting up on the inside to lead. Umrum tackling him on the outside. Pearl Prince 3 out, Calistair 4 out. Irish Air just behind them on the rails, and Knightly Sword between horses, then Gold City and Mushtak. A length and a half to Principality, followed then by Rustic Dream. Corporate James out wide and Tricove last. Umrum the leader, 1,000 to go, a half in front from Pearl Prince and Calistair, who's been working overtime. He's going to head them off and go to the lead at the 800 turn now. 2 lengths Knightly Sword fourth, but travelling 3 wide now. Around the outside of Mighty Way, Irish Air in the red colours on the fence. 2 Corporate James caught out very wide off that bottom turn, and then Rustic Dream, Mushtak and Gold City. Principality is next to last, and Tricove whipped up the field. Down the side they come. The pressure's been on from the word go. 600 out now, and Pearl Prince has gone to the lead over Rum on the rails. Carlos Dare feeling the pinch. Mighty Way called on for a run. Corporate James coming around the outside of Knightly Sword. Irish Air getting home along the rail when they came to the bend, and then Rustic Dream. Rum the leader, but he's been tested early. He's going to corner in front of Mighty Way in the green colours, wobbling a bit round the turn. Brushed with Corporate James. Corporate James is still coming. There's a run for Irish Air in the red now. Rum, Corporate James out wide. Rustic Dream coming on the outside. Corporate James, Rustic Dream, it's his day. Yes, it is. Rustic Dream goes on to win by a length and a half. Rustic Dream beat Corporate James and Irish Air. Behind them was Mushtak, Tricove out wide, and then Mighty Way and Rum. They're followed by Pearl Prince, Knightly Sword, Principality, Gold City, and Carlos Dare.
Yeah, it was his day, all right. Rustic Dream. The numbers were 3, 2 and 12. Rustic Dream, $6.20 and $2.20. Corporate James, $3.10. And Irish Air, $4.60. That was the Waterford Crystal Mile. What a race. And Rustic Dream joined in down the outside, beaten at Caulfield. You'll see him in a minute. That's Corporate James going to the front. Now Rustic Dream, crash bang wallop. He beat him in a bound. He was just too good. Well, we've come to the end of a racing year on Channel 9 as we see another replay. It's Irish Air getting out around Rum there. Rum on the rails. Irish Air gets out. Mighty Way, Corporate James, and down the outside comes Rustic Dream in the navy and the white. And he just swallows them up, runs to Corporate James, and home he goes to take the prize. Rustic Dream first, Corporate James second, and Irish Air, who was a little unlucky at Randwick last Saturday, finished third. And as we see it from the inside, that's Corporate James being tackled on his outside by the horse in navy and white, which was Rustic Dream, and the horse in the red on the inside was, as I said earlier, Irish Air, who is very, very, very close to a win. There's the winner, Rustic Dream. Well, boys, we've just about wrapped it up on Channel 9 for this year with this great Cox Plate telecast. It's been a pleasure to work with you, Simon O'Donnell, with Darren Beedman, with Simon Marshall. Thanks a million, fellas.
You too, Kenny. It's been a great year, and you know, this is great just being part of racing, and we've really capped it off well.
You enjoyed it all, Simon?
Of course, I've enjoyed it all. I look forward to being in the same spot next year, Ken.
We'll certainly be in the same spot next year, and I think we'll have just as much fun. Let's hope that we tip a little bit better. We can't claim too much credit for tipping Might and Power.
Well, it is a sport of opinions, isn't it? You've got to have an opinion, and you've got to be able to stand here and give it, and you take the good with the bad. Sometimes we get it right, other times we get it wrong. That's the nature of the sport. Enjoyed yourself, Darren?
I did, yeah, very much so. There's nothing like being out here on these big Group 1 days, and it was one of my most greatest moments in racing in being able to interview Jack Denham.
Good on you, mate, and good on Simon Marshall too. It's back now to Max and Nicole.
Thank you very much, guys. Well, it has been a great year down there. Congratulations. You did a great job in the Guineas and the Caulfield Cup last week and again today. It's memorable stuff. Might and Power. Who will ever forget it? And let's say, too, congratulations to Shane Dye. He's been a very integral part of our team, hasn't he, Nicole?
Very much so.
Little Billy Idol there, or as Kenny said today, maybe our final edition of Wide World of Sports for the year. But don't forget, there's plenty of action coming your way during the next month. Later tonight and right through to Monday, you can catch highlights of the series-deciding third Test match between Pakistan and Australia from Karachi. Then tomorrow morning, those South Australian Redbacks meet Victoria at the MCG in their Mercantile Mutual Cup encounter. Tomorrow week, the best turf team in the business saddles up for 1 hour special. That's featuring a full Melbourne Cup preview on The Racing Show. That afternoon, live from Suzuka, the World Formula One title is on the line as Häkkinen and Schumacher race for the crown in the Japanese Grand Prix. Later, an event for all horse lovers, the Holden Equestriad Series. Once again, check your local guides for all telecast times. OK, we're just about out of time here for today and the entire season. I'd like to say thank you very much to Nicole and all the team that have been working with it. It's been a great year. It has been a great year, my first year, and thank you very much for letting me sit beside you. But we've got our producer is leaving, Pete Williams, so yes, we have to say... Zippy, as we know. Zippy, thank you for everything that you've done for Wide World of Sports, and good luck in the future. Very much so. He's... Cox